Jazz Pharmaceuticals is doubling down on one of the rarest, most severe forms of childhood epilepsy on the planet. Jazz Pharmaceuticals just announced it will acquire Actio Biosciences, a smaller biotech, in a deal worth $820 million upfront, with up to another $500 million on top of that if certain approval and sales milestones get hit. Add it all up, and this Jazz Pharmaceuticals and Actio Biosciences deal could ultimately be worth as much as $1.32 billion. The reason Jazz Pharmaceuticals is spending that kind of money comes down to one drug, ABS 1230, Actio Biosciences' lead program. ABS 1230 is described as a first-in-class small molecule precision therapy that works by inhibiting something called the KCNT1 ion channel. That channel is the root cause of KCNT1-related epilepsy, a rare and severe developmental and epileptic encephalopathy that starts in early childhood. It's estimated to affect only around 2,500 patients in the entire United States, and right now, there is not a single FDA-approved therapy for it. For families dealing with KCNT1 epilepsy, ABS 1230 from Actio Biosciences represents the first real targeted option that's ever gotten this close to the finish line. The early data behind ABS 1230 is what convinced Jazz Pharmaceuticals to move. In an early proof-of-concept trial, ABS 1230 produced meaningful reductions in seizures in children with KCNT1 epilepsy. Actio Biosciences is now testing ABS 1230 in an ongoing trial called KYRON, a Phase 1b/2a study that's specifically designed to double as the registrational trial that could support a future new drug application with the FDA. On top of that clinical momentum, ABS 1230 already carries FDA Fast Tra designation, rare pediatric disease designation, and orphan drug designation, and it was recently accepted into a newer FDA initiative called the Rare Disease Evidence Principles Program, which is built specifically to speed up development of therapies for these kinds of ultra-rare conditions. That's about as much regulatory tailwind as a single experimental drug can carry into a deal like this one. Jazz Pharmaceuticals' chief executive, Renee Gala, connected the acquisition of ABS 1230 directly to the company's existing playbook, saying the deal represents a highly strategic expansion of Jazz Pharmaceuticals' rare epilepsy portfolio, building upon the global success of Epidiolex and deepening the company's leadership in rare and severe epilepsies. Epidiolex, Jazz Pharmaceuticals' existing cannabidiol-based epilepsy drug, has already become a major global product for the company, so folding in Actio Biosciences and ABS 1230 gives Jazz Pharmaceuticals a second, complementary shot at owning the rare pediatric epilepsy space rather than just leaning on one drug. The structure of the deal has an interesting twist. Actio Biosciences isn't being absorbed wholesale into Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Instead, everything in Actio Biosciences outside of ABS 1230, meaning its other pipeline programs, much of its management team, its employees and other assets, is being spun out into a brand new, privately held company focused on rare genetic neurological diseases. Jazz Pharmaceuticals will hold a minority stake in that new spinoff, while ABS 1230 itself, the actual epilepsy asset Jazz Pharmaceuticals wanted, stays behind with Actio Biosciences and gets fully absorbed into Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Both companies' boards have already signed off on the transaction, and Jazz Pharmaceuticals and Actio Biosciences expect the deal to close by the fourth quarter of this year. If ABS 1230 eventually makes it through the KYRON trial and to an FDA approval, it would give thousands of families dealing with KCNT1 epilepsy their very first approved treatment option, and give Jazz Pharmaceuticals a second flagship product standing right alongside Epidiolex in its rare epilepsy lineup. That is the story of Jazz Pharmaceuticals acquires Actio Biosciences for $820 million, adding KCNT1 epilepsy drug, ABS 1230. Add your perspective in the comments, share this story with a colleague, and subscribe for the next Conference Hype narrative.